Hi second graders, we're going to start our math lesson for today. Today we are going to be practicing digit values, which is a review of something we've already done with numbers in the ones and the tens place. But today we are going to be adding in the hundreds place and doing the exact same activity. So it's a little bit of review with a little bit of something new. So let's take a look at the worksheet. It asks, what is the value of the underlined digit? Now remember, a digit is a single number. So when we look at the first number, we have 814. But the underlined digit is an 8, and that 8 is in the hundreds place. So it says the value of the digit 8 is 800s, or 800, written either in word form or in standard form. Taking a look at the next one, 234, this time the second digit is underlined, and that's going to be in the tens place. Mrs. Grant, how much would a 3 in the tens place be worth?
Well, a 3 in the tens place means that there are 3 tens. And when I think about it in my head, I think of 3 tens rods. And so a 10 plus a 10 plus a 10 is 30.
Very good. Let's take a look at the next one. We still have a 3-digit number. So this number is still in the hundreds place, 647, but it's the 7 that's underlined this time. What do you think that means?
That means that we're focusing on the ones place, and that 7 is worth exactly 7 because it's in the ones place.
You got it.
7 ones.
And remember, we talked about how it really depends where a number is located because the value is going to change. So like you said, a 7 in the ones place is worth 7, but if that 7 jumped and it moved into the hundreds place, it would be worth 700. So where the number is located is really, really important in this activity. Let's do a couple together. The directions say, write the value of the underlined digit. In our first problem, problem A, the number is 729, and it's the 7 that's underlined. All right, Mrs. Grant, what are we going to put on the line?
All right. Since the number in the hundreds column is underlined,
Yep.
I know that 7 hundreds is worth 700.
You got it.
And something I noticed as I was thinking about this is that since I'm focusing on the hundreds place, everything else just turns into zeros, right? So I can just turn these guys into zeros.
Exactly.
I know I have to have 3 place values.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's try maybe a couple more because
Okay.
I see another one that might get tricky. So let's look at problem B. Problem B is 436, and this time the 6 is underlined. Can you tell me what place value the 6 is in?
That's the ones place.
That is the ones place. So a 6 in the ones place is worth how much?
It's worth 6.
Only 6.
Just 6.
So when you write 6 on the line, do you need any zeros?
No, because it's in the ones place.
Nope.
I can just forget about these guys because I'm only focusing on the ones place.
You got it. All right. Let's jump down because all of a sudden now I only see a 2-digit number. I don't want that to confuse students in our class today. So this is the number 45. There is nothing in the hundreds place, and it is the 4 that is underlined. What place is that 4 in?
That 4 is in the tens place.
Good catch. And a 4 in the tens place is worth how much?
It's worth 40. 4 groups of 10s.
You got it.
And again, I'm noticing that everything to the right is going to turn to zeros. And I think that's kind of a pattern here. Anything on the left, I kind of get rid of, and anything on the right turns to zeros. So since this one was underlined and there's 2 numbers on the right, those turn to zeros. Over here, I didn't have anything on the right, so I couldn't turn anything into zeros, and I get to forget about the stuff to the left.
Yep.
Here, 1 number to the right, it turned to a 0. So
That
that's
is
kind of a cool pattern, huh?
Yeah, and it's a really, really good strategy. I wonder if students will be able to know what to do here when there's 1 number to the left that they can forget about, and 1 number to the right
that they can turn to a 0. Cool.
All right, I know there's just a couple tricky problems down at the bottom, so I'm
Okay.
going to move that up so students can see them.
Awesome.
And maybe we could do one of those together and they could do one on their own.
All right.
All right. I always think that these questions are kind of sneaky because I think the people who make worksheets try to trick children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but they do. And we're not going to let them fool you this time. They want you to pick the wrong answer. It says, in the number 238, which digit has the greatest value? Now I'm going to tell you something, Mrs. Grant. They want students to say 8.
Because it's a higher number.
Yep. They want you to pick 8 because you know that 8 is bigger than 2 and 3. But that is not what they're asking. And that's a trick. They're trying to trick you. They want to know which of these 3 numbers has the greatest value based on where it is in the number. So for example, that 2 is actually worth 200, isn't it?
Yep.
The 3 is actually worth 30. Wow. And the 8 is only worth 8.
And 8 is way smaller than 30 and 200.
It is. So now that you know not to get tricked by this question, which one of those digits has the greatest value?
Well, I know that 200 is bigger than 30 and 8, so I'm going to say the 2 has the greatest value. And students are probably going to want to write 200.
Don't
But
write 200.
Don't write 200, write 2, because the 2 is in the hundreds place, and that has the greatest value.
Yep. Very good. So the 2 has the greatest value. Now, I'm not going to do the next question for you, because I think you need to try. I just want you to notice that this time, they changed it to the least value.
Smallest.
Yeah, teeny tiny, the smallest number up here, and it's the smallest value that it holds.
I like what you did here, and I would recommend the students repeating that. Putting an arrow and telling me how much is the 6 worth, how much is the 1 worth, how much is the 9 worth. And then once you have them written like she did up here, it'll be easy to compare and find which one is actually the smallest.
All right, do you think they can do it?
I have 100% faith in them.
All right.